You could call it the never-ending war zone. For centuries, at least a dozen countries and empires have tried to conquer Afghanistan without success. Students at Dixie State University heard from Shadman Bashir, who used to live in that region. He shared how the United States entered the country after the attack on American soil on 9/11/2001, and how the mindset or tribal code of the land protected the Taliban leader.
After 9/11, when Taliban were in power, and then the US, through diplomatic channels, was reaching out to hand over Osama bin Laden, there was a very old tradition which prevented these guys from handing over Osama bin Laden. And the tradition is, when someone comes to your home, even if that person is your enemy, and that person asks for protection, you have to protect that person.
Now, 20 years later, the withdrawal of American troops among thousands of others just last week has allowed the Taliban to regain control of the region, changing its official name to the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. Bashir said it was because there was no plan.
You have to have a plan of what you want to achieve from that war. And if the plan is not there, war was thrusted upon you and you get stuck. That's what happened in Malaya. That's what happened in Middle East, in Iraq, in Syria. That's what happened in Afghanistan and Vietnam.
Bashir explained that because the region has so many tribes that speak different languages and have differing opinions on what their wants and needs are, they fight from within. Anyone wanting to break that fight up won't win.
So all of these wars are being played at the same time. Imagine the mess. So good luck even fighting this war.
The news of the Taliban takeover once again is frightening for Afghan refugee Beyza Osmani, who left Afghanistan when she was just 16 years old to go to Turkey in order to continue her studies.
She left Afghanistan and then went to Turkey for 5 years and waiting for her a political asylum case. And then finally that was approved, so she came to New York on 10th June this year. And then now, last week, she came in, and we are very happy for her to be at Dixie.
Beyza is now a student at Dixie State studying English.
And I have grammar and speaking classes. And in January, I hope I will start my normal lessons too, as a social worker or maybe as a human rights activist.
Beyza fears for the two sisters she left behind, as well as other women who are now in the hands of the Taliban regime.
Because Taliban is so bad and they didn't let girls to continue their educations and have a better life and work in the outside. Sometimes I really don't have any hope for future, but I'm trying hard to be a strong person and go back and fight with them and help the people of Afghanistan.
After giving a long history on the many attempted takeovers of the country, Bashir explained how the war served a purpose for those who were making money off of it.
So nation building was out. Instead, Afghanistan turned into a war economy. When there's a war economy stays when the war is going on. The contracts, contractors, governments, all of those things. So Afghanistan never ended up with its own independent economy, which was not dependent on war.
And while hope is grim in Afghanistan right now, the hope in America is promising for Beyza.
From that day I came into St. George. Lots of people helped me. They always send me some letters for welcoming that I'm safe here, and they are happy that I'm safe. They took me on lots of good motives and good morals. That's enough for me.
And for those who managed to escape like Beyza, they too are looking to survive as refugees in another homeland.
Back in 2018, there were 65 million people who were home, who were, you can call them refugees, but they were not in their own homes. So they were moving around. They can be internally displaced or externally displaced. And that is the highest number in history, yes.
Many students were left questioning whether the U.S. did the right thing by pulling out so quickly.
There was a way to do it, and all of a sudden I think left it more unstable than what it would be if we kind of slowly did it and had an actual plan to do so. So I don't think you can win it. I don't think anyone can.
From Dixie State University, Melissa Anderson, Community Education News.